we have Julie on here, and she's talking about how her quantum technology is by frequencies, sending frequencies to the body, to a pet, to a thing, to a corporation. And it is a device that she is explaining how this quantum field of energy works. Go ahead and tell us about this.
Okay, great. Thank you, Chella. The concept is that we're tapping into the bioinformation field within our bodies and having conversations with the quantum field, requesting from the quantum field that we go for more balance. And so to date, while there are a lot of different technologies out there that do send you frequencies, this one is the only one I found yet that will actually do a scan of your body in real time that you can take with you. There's other areas you can go in and you can get with a professional that they'll do it in the office, but then you only get the frequencies while you're there. Well, this device was brought about by the bigger devices that people were trained on, and the doctors or the naturopaths wanted to send people home with their own frequencies so that they could continue to run frequencies. Now, when I talk about frequencies, one of the things I want people to comprehend is that frequencies and homeopathy and all things natural were part of our country and our world before the 1900s. We were using frequencies. And then it was in the early 1900s that not only did they take out frequencies and the capacity to use flowers and plants, but they also took out the water, and they shut down hemp. And so that was the time when you started seeing the pharmaceutical companies build up. They were creating all of their things out of petro and different oils. And so it's been a beautiful, I guess, rabbit hole down finding out how our health has been hijacked for 100 years now. Hello, Rhonda.
Hi, how are you?
Super. All right. So I already put Rhonda into the system. I want to show you guys the potential assessments that we can do on this. So we have all of these different types of programs. I don't know, I guess you're probably not going to be able to see them.
But would you like to have would you like to be the control of the board here? I can share the board with you if you want to put it on the screen. Do you want to use your computer?
No, that's okay. I think I've got it better this way. So we've got, okay, there we go. So all of these things are scannable. We have things for chakra. We have deep cycle. There are programs on here for COVID. We have homeopathy. One of the things we're going to do for Rhonda right now, though, is that we're going to go through all of the potential programs and see where her lowest 5 are. And we'll be able to feed those back. Now, this is a device that everyone can have on their own and use at home, but we also obviously do remote sessions as well. The first session is always free because it's so different. We've got to explain how it works and show how it works. So anyone can sign up for a free frequency scan. So because I'm doing it remotely, normally I'm left-handed. I'm going to actually hold the device in my right hand to represent Rhonda. I'm going to do an analysis. And so all I do is I put my finger on the app. We have 2 apps that go with it, actually 3 apps that go with this. So right now it's doing a blue screen, blue squiggle that represents Rhonda. Once that's done, can you see that? There it goes, crossed away. Okay, now that's completed.
Yep.
Now it's giving us the results of her lowest 5. And so, Rhonda, some of these will mean something to you and others won't. Now, when I say lowest 5, it's the lowest 5 bundles. There are, I think, about several hundred of different frequencies within these bundles. So the first one that came up from Rhonda is learning, which activates for the brain. And it helps, like if a person's going to take a test, you can run learning. The next one is digital nutrition mixture. That's amazing. You have all of the different B1s, B2, whatever you're deficient in. This will feed it back to you in the frequencies. Gold cycle prepares the body. It's almost like a foundational frequency to get your body prepared to receive more frequencies. Watch is the next one. That one I'm still learning on what that means. And then bioenergetic harmony 2, that is also in support of your immune system. So from there, I can choose what to do. If I want to send the report to her, I can, or I can choose to vibrate, and then I can choose to do so for whatever amount of time I want. So right now, and so some people are sensitive to the actual scans. Some people feel it. Rhonda, did you feel anything while I was scanning you just now?
No.
Okay, really. That's fine. There's no problem with it. I'm going to go ahead and start the actual sending you the frequencies. I'm going to make sure that my device is on correctly. All right.
I feel something like in my hands tingling.
Perfect.
Very faint vibration is what I felt also.
Can be a very slight buzzing at times. So let me make sure I've got everything going right here. Some people will experience it right away. They can feel something and others don't. Others, I'll get the program started. They won't feel it at first, but then about halfway through, they're recognizing that, ooh, something's happening. I feel it in my head. I feel it in my hands. I feel it somewhere else. Now there's a couple of different, I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty getting this baby connected. There's a couple of different aspects to the style of frequencies that I'm sending. So the first one with the top 5, or the lowest 5, basically, those are what we call resonance. And so you can imagine that as a band with 5 instruments coming at you. Okay, so you're listening, your body's getting given all of these beautiful frequencies. Now, from there, you can get, what we do is we wire up. We can go to an individual or a solo performance, and that is called, I knew I was going to forget the name of it. Resonance. I'll come back to it. But anyway, this is one that is very intentional. There they are. Hi, guys. And then we also have what we call a Tesla coil. And that one is a scalar wave that comes at you. So there's 3 different styles of frequency within this device. And yeah. So how are you feeling there, Rhonda?
Pretty good.
Very good. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to send you frequencies afterwards. Okay. And maybe we'll take a look and see how things go. But Steve, tell us how it went for you and what your results were there.
Okay, well, at first I didn't feel anything to begin with, sort of like Rhonda. And then afterward, I mentioned that I had an issue with my knee, because my knee's been hurting. It's an old sports injury. I used to play baseball and had a collision, and it's not been the same ever since. So at first, my knee started getting worse. Like I had real sharp pains, like unusual, like I haven't had before.
Mhm.
And then after that, I don't know, that lasted several hours. And then after that, that pain went away. And then I started walking more and using my knee. And then my knee started to sort of straighten a little bit. I'll say that it sort of, it's like the connections got better. And then today, I don't have any symptom. It's gone. I mean, I can feel it if I stress it a certain way. I still have a little tenderness, but it's I'd say it's on its way out. It's maybe going. I don't know, but I do feel a lot better.
amazing.
I have to admit. There was also an issue with sleep. You mentioned to me that I'm going to sleep well. So last night, well, then I'll say the night before, I couldn't sleep at all till 6 a.m.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
like, and then I tried to sleep in. I was like, no, I got to get some sleep. You know, I don't want to get run down, and I couldn't. So I just went on about my day. I had a bunch of pickup after Ian, you know, came through and made a big mess. So I had to clean that up. And then last night, I only slept for about 6 hours, but it was really good sleep. And today I feel really level, like I feel really good energy. I have to say I feel good today. Yeah.
Excellent. Good, good. Well, and I did want to share too, that was only one pain program I ran on you. And the pain program within the Healy is only 20 minutes long. So I've seen this work really well for pain, like with your knee, but I've also seen it work really well with sciatica. I've seen it work well with migraines. We're also experiencing some folks that might have some dementia, and their mental capacity is starting to come back more, their cognitive abilities, which is amazing, because for me, that's where the miracles really take place, when people start coming back to themselves more and they can connect with their family that they haven't been able to. I had one woman tell me, she said, my husband sat down on the edge of the bed and we talked for an hour and a half, like we haven't been able to do in 3 years. Wow. So, you know, to me, that's the beauty of this, is that we can get rid of the big pharma in different aspects and just bring it back to ourselves. I love giving people back to themselves, because this is where we have the capacity to make great changes within our lives and the people we love around us. So I am just so thrilled to have the opportunity to share this with you guys. What other questions do you have? How can I?
Well, I've had a sore throat the last week,
Have you?
sore throat.
Uh-huh.
Hoping that will take care of it. Because
all right, great. Yes. Well, we'll definitely. When we get off here too, what I'll do as well, Rhonda, I'm going to go ahead and run an immune support scan on you as well. And we'll see if we can't get that worked out too. So you said it's been a couple of days or a week you've had a sore throat?
About a week. And I think a lot of it has to do with the weather changing here.
Yes.
In Florida, and things are starting to cool down now, especially at night. So
right. Well, and after the big hurricane that you guys had there, that's also going to throw a lot of things up into the environment. True. You know, like that you're probably breathing in that you didn't even realize, you know, a lot of chemicals flying around that you're not used to ingesting. So it could be that. So I'll definitely, and so here's what the other thing I can do. I can send both you and Steve, I'll put you guys together as a group, and I can send both of you bioimmune support for having just gone through the hurricane down there.
That would be great. We're going to be outside almost all day today after this call, so that would be great.
Yep. All right. Well, and Steve, I apologize. I did not get an opportunity. I think I might have been one of the reasons you stayed up so late. So I ran some frequencies for Steve earlier in the day, and I ran the pain program at that time, right? We spoke on the phone in the afternoon. And then I said, okay, Steve, I'm going to run you some more frequencies. So I sort of set it on auto for about 2 hours, not the pain, but all of the other stuff that had popped up for you.
Mhm.
So it might have been a little too much. I have had reports of that before. The first time I attempted a remote, I did so with a buddy of mine down in Springfield, Missouri, and he came back later and he was like, Julie, you shouldn't have tapped that up to 100%. I was up for like 2 days. And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. So I apologize, Steve. That might have been my fault, but that just goes to show you that the energies can find you wherever you are and are affecting you somehow, right?
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
So Julie, tell us who all benefits from the Healy. It's the Healy, right? Wellness and Healy,
Yes,
right?
the Healy,
Okay.
it's Healy. Mhm.
Tell us who all benefits from the Healy.
Anyone that is a frequency vibrational breathing being.
So people, pets,
Plants.
groups of people, agriculture.
Yes, plants.
Agriculture.
Can it help your plants like when you're doing a garden? Can it help your plants grow bigger and better?
Absolutely. I've seen that quite a bit. I've got some friends that, they have this really amazing greenhouse that the earth is actually creating the energy for the greenhouse. And they run Healy in there, and holy cow, it's amazing the food that comes out of there. Big and just full of phytonutrients, just incredible.
So tell us, how many treatments does one really need after they start the process of the frequencies being sent? How many is the recommended amount of treatments one would need?
So it's going to vary for everyone. The reason I like this, the treatment is you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's you running the frequencies until you feel more balanced and at ease. So
Mm-hmm.
this is assisting. I don't know the answer to that. There is no one specific answer. This is why it's a personal frequency device, and you can choose how to use it. Now, I was sharing with Steve yesterday. So while I do not have like any major anything going on,
Mm-hmm.
I've been using it as a mental balance aspect.
Or prevental?
Well, I had a big traumatic event happen like in the spring with a roommate, and that I feel like if I didn't have my mental balance aspects, I would probably be curled up in a fetal position in a corner somewhere, right? So this has really helped me with that. But the other thing I was sharing too was I use it as like a first aid kit. So I had a really bad sunburn, and it was like super hot. And I thought, man, let me just run the skin program. And I did. Within 20 minutes, gone. I mean, the heat from it was fully pulled out, and I never peeled. The other thing, I took a tumble. I really jacked up my right hand. This thumb immediately was starting to go black and blue and purple. And my right side, my knee and my ankle were all starting to well up. And this was about 2 months ago.
Mhm.
I have two devices. I immediately put the devices on myself and just started running programs like all day, all day. The
Mhm.
next day, almost no discoloration at all, and no pain in the ankle, color gone, everything. My third thing was I'd gotten really eaten up by mosquitoes, big, huge welts on the back of my legs. I went and ran allergy on myself. Within 20 minutes, those welts were gone.
Wow.
So yeah, I've, like I said, I use it as my first aid device for myself, for my friends, for my family. You know, my niece will call and say she's got some complications with her pregnancy. She's already plugged in, so I'll send her the vibes and we get her back to balance. So
tell us about your platform. So everybody that's listening, they're interested. They're like, well, how do we reach you? Where do they go? Tell us about how your platform works.
you can go to aloveforlife.com. It's ALUV, the number 4, LIFE.com. And you can sign up for free frequency scans right there, and we can go into more deep dive. But it's aloveforlife.com.
Okay, I'm trying to get that off the screen there. Sorry.
It's all right. I've also got some information on there about industrial hemp, which is my other passionate project.
So that's
ALUV4LIFE.com.
Okay. So let's go ahead and pull that up on the screen, and we're going to go ahead and we are going to share screen again. We're going to share this screen, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this over here just like this. So here is her site. And of course, let me move this out of the way so we can see the whole screen. Okay, so you have your home, services, how to contact, Hemp Life, video cast. So this is the home page.
Right.
Here is the service page. So
right up at the top there, it says, if you go to the top, personal frequency device info and ordering, that is actually the website where if you wanted to order today, you could do so with that.
So they just highlight this right here.
Yep.
Copy it, place it into your toolbar here, and then order away.
That's right. Right. And I do know right now they extended a discounted offer on the devices until today. So it's still listing as being half off today.
Okay.
So,
and
yeah.
so here was the home, here was services, here's the contact. You can contact Julie D through here. If you're interested in the Hemp Life and the hemp connections, you can put your email in and sign up there, and she can give you some information. Then you have the video cast. And so it's pretty easy. And so therefore it's like that. And do you have a phone number that if people are having problems, is this how they get a hold of you here, just through the life444@gmail.com? So
that's correct.
Okay.
And then I've got those other Telegram pages. So if they wanted to telegram me through A Love for Life as well, I'm available there.
Okay. Okay, so that was our upgrade, our Bedbed-like frequency field, quantum field healing through the Healy with Bedbed. Go ahead.
Are you going to send me something about what you just ran on me?
Yes, I will send you a report of what came up for you and what frequencies I'm running for you. Absolutely, Rhonda.
Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely. You're welcome.
And you have her information, right? Liz, do you have any questions? Let me unmute you. I had muted you here. Okay, so I've asked to unmute you. Liz, do you have any questions that you want to throw in here?
She has to unmute herself.
Sometimes our audience is shy.
There she goes.
Oh, here she goes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I do have a question. I'm so thrilled to see all this. It's just so amazing. I have recently found out from my doctor that I have an enlarged liver, and it's not anything that's an emergency. And he says, we'll just keep a check on it and let him know if I have any, any problems.
Mhm.
But I'm curious. I was trying to type actually what I was going to say while you all were showing what you were showing on the screen. So I didn't get to see if there was a cost or something. I'm sure that there is.
Mhm.
So I was just curious about what something like to do something for that would cost. I know
So-
you said the one time is free.
Yes,
Right.
the first time scan is free. And then if you wanted additional scans for me to do remotely, that's at $45 an hour. But then you can definitely purchase your own device, and those range anywhere from 500 to 4,000. Now, I recommend that people get the device that has the scanner on it. The
Mhm.
lowest price one does not have the scanner on it. So for me, the most important aspect is having the ability to scan your own body, which
Mhm.
tells you, what you need to know and where to go from there. As far as your condition, we have programs specifically for liver. We have them for kidney. We have them for all the organs. So yes, we could definitely take a look. So yeah, Liz, if you'd like to set up a frequency scan, I'm sure we can do that in the next couple of days and get you in and see where you're at and see how we can assist.
That'd be really great. Neat.
Liz, I want you
Yes.
to do me a favor. I want you to go in and I want you to write down this email.
Okay.
The email, let me bring that back up. Hold on.
Let me get to a pen. I've got.
Okay. Here.
Okay, the good thing about this is once we're all done, Chella will
Edit.
put this back, edit it and put it back up so
Right.
that other people can see it.
Nice.
Okay.
On Patreon especially, we have a lot of followers.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have to help me with the Patreon thing. I'm looking to get in there. So
It's actually pretty easy. It's just you got to be consistent with it. Okay, hold on. Let's see
Okay.
something here. I want to share my screen again, and I want to pull up the screen you're on, and I want to show your
and there, if you go down back to homepage, yeah, you can show that. That's fine. But there is a place further down where you can sign up on my calendar directly. Let's go back up to it. Let's see. Go under services. Right. Go down there we go. Online appointments. You can book right there.
Okay, girls, I got a problem. I have I've got it on Zoom, but it's the screen is real small now. How do I get back to where?
Oh, that's
I
up to Chella. Chella's got to change you back.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Okay.
can see what you got up there, but I can't see it. I can see it's there, but I can't see what it says. It's so small.
So what I just did is I just took the page. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down this email real quick. It's aloveforlife444@gmail.com.
LUV.
Love is spelled LUV.
Okay. LUV.
And a number 4,
Number 4.
and then life, LIFE,
Mm-hmm.
444@gmail.com. So you can email her, let her know you're Liz from the show today, and then she will follow up a response from there. She'll email you to get you guys connected. If not, I went into the I sent this part right here. I sent this whole screen right here to the EDU102 group. So it's the last post that I just posted underneath Rhonda's Nasara
Okay.
post. So it's right underneath that.
Right.
And so her information's there. So if you have any problems from there, Liz, just get a hold of me and I will make sure you guys are connected. But you should be pretty good if you just email her.
Okay. I can sure do that. Yes,
So
thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz, for
you.
such a great question. Thank you, Rhonda and Steve, for participating.
Steve can hear you. He's just right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thank you so much, Julie D, for being here on the show. We really appreciate you. I want to do a recap real quick. So we just got done with Julie D and her Medbed-like technology. I'll put a video in the actual replay of this so that way everybody can see it. What it's actually like when it's actually working. I have one from when I met you at Truth Tour, and I got to do a little bit while I put my feet in the pool. And then we went over Iraq. For those who jumped on the call last, we're seeing a lot of stuff going on, chaos and people in different directions in the street of Iraq, where Iraqi people, they have a bunch of different groups. They don't seem to be on the same page. That's where the chaos and confusion is coming from. We're seeing the green zone clear out in some areas and still be congested in some areas. It looks like they'll probably withdraw and then come back to the green zone when they're a little bit more prepared. Iraq is, as reported, in about $551 billion stolen by Maliki's government. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before. So there's a lot of people that were talking about Maliki. They are watching the coordination framework and Sauter's group be on different sides of the spectrum. The coordination framework, they're connected with Iran. They have more alliance with Iran, and Sauter's is more for the people of Iraq. We're seeing a new sovereignty alliance. It's Kadhimi, Chella, and al-Habasi. Al-Habasi is not going to resign from parliament, according to some of the news posts. They are trying to run Iraq under a caretaker government. Prime Minister Kadhimi spoke at the General Assembly. He is being recognized nationally with respect. He's proceeding to negotiate trade and banking in multiple countries, which, in my opinion, why would they be even making any of these deals if they wasn't planning to actual revalue or reinstitute and so forth? This is good. This is a good sign. It's leading towards us getting paid from this IraqiDinar, and he does good in foreign policy. So we'll keep looking for Kadhimi. 100 billion they are holding in the USD. It is backing up the US dollar. Dinar economically, Iraq is number one, and it's in the Middle East, and it's fifth in the world. The IMF is pushing hard for Iraq to revalue. Like I said earlier, they're seeing like a 1-to-1. That's what I think will happen. They'll come out with a 1-to-1, and then it'll go to a float. So this would eliminate the auctions that takes place in Iraq. That's great news. Parliament is unable to form a government at this moment. Not even the federal Supreme Court can rule on this decision. That's why the caretaker government, it's, basically operating, they're governing their country. So should we see a reinstitution? It could happen due to them being able to govern anyway. Like I said in the past, we didn't need a president seated or a prime minister seated. We just need to see their country performing and still being able to govern. The dinar could reinstitute sooner than later. The CBI is an independent entity. We don't want to reinstitute in the month of September, as I was saying. We wanted to reinstitute at the end of the quarter due to the taxing. The taxing will be due to, you'll have till the 15th day of the next month to pay out on that. If they float, we won't have enough time, and we'll pay a higher tax on a low float. So that's not going to be good. And that's why we were waiting from the window of the October 1 through November 15th. That gives 6 weeks to hold the currency. That way, if it does come to a float, you can hold it and make your decision on when you go and exchange once that money finally, or the number behind the float actually settles. And that's why people were wanting to put their money into a trust. Trusts have a little bit of a difference when it comes to taxing. You'll want to look up the law underneath that, under the 643, and that's in regards to the A, B, C, and D, I think. But I'm not a tax attorney on that. You would want to see a trust lawyer or a tax attorney in regards to trust. Let's see, as we mentioned, I'm going to be putting my money into a trust just for the safety of the money and for, any kind of breaks that I can get within the taxing on that. And so, Iraq is, I think they're very near because they are a petroleum generating country, which is a renewable energy. If people don't know what that is, it's energy. It's a renewable minerals that's made from bacteria, algae, and plants. It's the second largest largest mineral in the world. Water is number one. Currency is dying, creating a controlled like currency as we're seeing them push the CBDCs. And so that's why I'm preparing whether or not we get paid in the CBDCs, which is central bank digital currencies, or will we be paid in fiat? Nobody really knows. We're kind of just waiting right now to figure out what's going on east over there. And that's why so many businesses are internationally wanting to participate. The EU has announced Iraq is no longer a high-risk nation, which is great because that's when they start taking off their sanctions and restrictions of Iraq, taking them from a program rate to an international rate. They want to be on a global currency trading level. And that's when you'll see the Dinar reinstitute. Let's see. We are seeing the Five Eyes that are leaning towards the CBDC, the globalists, which is Britain, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. The United States is also a part of that Five Eyes. What we have that's different from the other four countries is that we have a constitution. Our constitution basically protects us. The other four countries do not. So basically, they're squeezing us with the taxation and the inflation, and now they're trying to push the CBDC, which has given them a lot of control. So we're trying to prepare for if that happens. There are banks that are implementing this. Morgan Stanley is one of those banks. And if you go to Morgan Stanley, you can see your checking, you can see your savings. You can also see the digital currencies like the CBDC, the cryptocurrency. And so there are banks that are introducing it. Let's see, what else do we have? We had Julie in here today. We want to thank everybody for their time here on the show. We want to thank all of our guests. You guys are always great each week, and we'll see you next week. Rhonda, do we know if we will have Monday's session at 7?
Monday at 7.
Okay, and
I think it's I don't know what the date is, the 10th? No.
Monday the 10th at 7 p.m. is going to be our next call. Our guest is
Shad.
And he is going to talk to us about.
He created it's called the Majestic 12 Hub on Telegram, which is like a wealth of information. See, you've heard about it, haven't you, Julie? He created
Yeah, I've heard it. Yes. Great. Awesome.
You name it, and you can find it there.
Thank everybody for being here on this October 3rd. We'll see you guys on October 10th. With Chad at 7 p.m. The time did change to an evening call next week. Otherwise, I will see you guys this Friday with Newsroom Weekly Review on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Take care. Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.